Do you know what? I wish I was born in the 60s. Big hair, big chunky boots. I know.
I was born 62.
Just at the right time.
Yeah, first thing I remember, public thing, was the moon landing, 1969. I remember that.
That is mad that you lived through that.
Do you think?
Yeah. You've lived through all the greats.
The moon landing, the Blue Peter time capsule.
Were you around during the war?
Which war? The Second World War?
Yeah, when was that?
1939 to 1945.
Way back.
You were in the war.
Way back. I love talking with Richard. I just feel like he teaches me so much. I'm so full of knowledge now. He's full of knowledge on things he probably could have done without from me. He's just such an amazing man. And you lived through Margaret Thatcher.
Lived through Margaret Thatcher, saw her in, saw her out.
Do you want a fun story?
I do.
My mum used to host the parties for John Major at her house.
Really?
Yeah. And they used to have sniffer dogs come search the house, obviously, before. And one of the dogs found my brother's wine gums and his jaw got stuck shut.
No.
Yeah, and my brother got told off.
Why?
Doesn't make sense,
his
does
fault,
it?
no.
Because he hid the wine gums. He wasn't meant to have them.
Grace is such a funny person. I mean, she's one of those people who's always been at an angle to the world, and that gives her a perspective which is unusual. She could insert herself into any period of history and make it her own, I think. Although her grasp of history is quite poor, because I was telling her about growing up in the 60s and she asked me if I remembered the war. I had a parishioner called Betty, and Betty was a nurse. She trained at the London hospital during the Blitz.
Wow.
And she was given lodgings by this family in the East End.
Yeah.
There was a mum, and she had two boys, twins. And she kept noticing that whenever they went to the shop, they didn't really seem to bother with a ration book. They just sort of got what they wanted. And then after the war, 20 years later, she opened the newspaper and she realised that she'd been lodging with the Crays.
No way.
Yeah, it was Ronnie and Reggie Cray with the twins.
My granddad fitted the carpets for the Crays. And they never paid him.
No.
And he thought, I'm not going to chase that.
Yeah. I don't know what a bromance is between a 62-year-old gay man and a 25-year-old lesbian, but whatever that is, we're having one.